As most of you know, a few months ago, our children's pastor, longtime children's pastor, he'd been here at the church for 11 years, Chris Quinn, felt the call of the Lord to accept a position at another congregation in Tennessee. And so since then, we have been on a search, on a hunt for someone who could be the children's pastor here at Twin Rivers. And those of you that know Chris Quinn and know his passion and his love for children's ministry know that that is not an easy task and an easy job. But you know, I heard a man say one time this, and I think he might have been misquoting just a little bit. He said, "The Lord works in mischievous ways, his wonders to perform." When we found out that Pastor Chris was going to be leaving us, we asked a gentleman that was right here in our congregation if he would be willing to serve as our interim children's pastor and continue our children's ministry, because he had been a volunteer in our children's ministry until we were able to find someone who would take the position full time. And I can tell you that we got some great resumes and we talked to people from different parts of the country. But the more time went on, the more we began to realize that God had already put a gem right here under our noses. As we got to know Pastor Paul Avery, we found out that this man brings to us a wealth of talent and experience in ministry. He has been a police officer, was a patrol officer in Dallas, Texas. He currently serves today as a chaplain to the St. Louis County Police Department. Paul has experience in a large church as a creative arts director and has a lot of experience in youth and children's ministry. God has gifted him with wonderful creativity, organizational skills, so many things that he brings to the table. We realized that as we were going through resumes, this guy's resume kept rising to the top of the heap, and that God had already put the right person in place within our church. And you know what I'm thrilled about? I'm thrilled that when transitions take place in the church, in the body of Christ, it doesn't take God by surprise. He knew it was going to happen, and the Lord was already preparing the person that needed to do this. And besides Pastor Paul and all he brings to the table, he has a wonderful family that is also creative and talented, and they've already gotten involved in children's ministry with him. And I want to ask you this morning to please join me in officially welcoming our new children's pastor, Pastor Paul Avery, his wife Tamara, and his daughters Lauren and Celia. Welcome, Pastor Paul. Pastor Paul, come.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the nice, warm welcome. It means more than you realize. I told first service, it's a story for another time, but my wife, my family, and I, we've been on quite the journey God's had us on in ministry and life, and that's brought us to this point in time. And as you said before, God's not surprised. He knows what's going on. And I would like to say it's a journey's end, but really it's the entrance to a brand new season of our lives and a brand new chapter that we couldn't be more excited about embarking in. And what a great place to do ministry. What a wonderful place to work. What a wonderful place to serve God. I want to thank you all for your patience, your prayers, your support during the time of transition, during my interim period. I really appreciate that more than you know. I've had a wonderful staff here at Twin Rivers to work with. Thank you, Pastor Chuck, Pastor B. They've welcomed me right into their family and been more help than you could possibly realize. I also want to thank all of the children's workers and children's staff. Give them a hand. They're awesome. At the time of transition, most of them, they stepped right up and said, we're right here with you. And many of them said, hey, what else can we do? We'll do even more. We'll step in. And that just impressed me right off the bat. And they're a great group to work with. But again, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. It's one I don't take lightly. And I appreciate the trust. And I definitely still would appreciate the prayers and support and the patience as we continue this transition. But most of all, just thank you for trusting me with your most precious asset, your children. I love them already, and they're awesome. And I'm looking forward to what God does for their lives. Thank you very much.
Welcome, man. Good to have you on board.